Nothing is worse than spending weeks, and months in even some cases, putting together a print-on-demand store, only to have it fail for some reason, or to have something unexpected happens that completely derails your plans. This has happened to me on numerous occasions. I started my first print-on-demand store in 2016. Since then, I've had lots of stores, and I've also had lots of failures. And on my channel here, I try to teach you about what you should do and some things that you should avoid. If you are new here, hey Joe, it's Folks here. Make sure to check out some of my other videos to see some of the strategies that I have used successfully on my own print-on-demand stores. And if you want to go through some step-by-step training to actually get started with a print-on-demand store, make sure to check out my course. There is a link down in the description. Inside, you'll get access to over 30 step-by-step videos showing you the process to build out your print-on-demand store. The best part is it is completely free. And like I said, there is a link down in the description. So basically in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some things that people commonly get blindsided by. Basically, what I mean is things that people don't expect to happen, and then ultimately what you can do if these things do happen to you. As we go through the video, if any of these have happened to you, let me know in the comments down below your experience with them. How did it go and how did you solve the problem? So right here is a print-on-demand supplier that I have shown from time to time here on the channel. It is called Subliminator, and sometimes what happens to people is they think stuff like this is cool, and they decide that they want to sell it. They say to themselves, wow, that product is perfect for my niche, let me add it to my store. They end up making a dozen designs for it and they get all excited, and then they see how long the product takes to ship. And in some cases, if you're adding these time frames up here, it can be multiple weeks for the customer to actually receive their item. And that is our first subject here. A lot of people don't expect that sometimes things are going to take a little bit longer to actually reach your customers. A lot of times people are jumping into POD and they expect the items to be delivered in a few days or something, sort of like what we have on Amazon. Unfortunately, with print on demand, that is just simply not how it works. You're typically going to have a time frame of about a week to up to a month, depending on where your product is coming from, to actually reach your customer. In most cases, the estimates that your supplier actually has, like these here inside of Subliminator or here inside of the Printify app, in most cases are going to be pretty reliable. Obviously, there could be certain times where there are delays, or maybe there's a holiday or something that has pushed back the average delivery time of an item for you. But basically, you're going to want to make sure that you have some good information on your store to help your customers expect the unexpected. So let's pretend for a moment that I am selling this canvas here on a print-on-demand store of mine, and let's just say that the supplier tells me that this is going to take 2 to 3 weeks to deliver to the customer. What you don't want to do is type somewhere on your store, please expect 2 to 3 weeks for delivery. That's going to be a great way for you to make 0 sales, because people are not going to want to make an order on a website that is just telling them that it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks. Now, you don't want to lie to them, but you want to write it in a way that makes it feel a little bit more normal and more so acceptable, okay? Basically, what I want you to do is to have somewhere on your store, something like a shipping page or a delivery, frequently asked questions, or something like that. And what you want to do is you want to tell people that we are a made-to-order business. We make you these canvases as your order comes in, which means we don't hold any inventory, and we do that to make sure that we can offer you the highest quality product at the lowest possible price. This means when you place your order, we're going to get to work producing your canvas for you. You can even make a joke or something and put it in parentheses and say, we promise you're going to love it once we're done making it. And then from there, you want to tell them that because we are going to get to work producing your item, please allow 2 to 7 business days to receive a tracking number. Now, so far, your customer is going to read that and they're going to feel like that is completely normal, that they're supporting a local small business that is using a made-to-order model to be able to offer high-quality products at a low price, and 2 to 7 business days for you to produce the product and get them a tracking number is going to seem perfectly normal to them. You'll then write something that says, once you receive your tracking number, please allow 4 to 12 business days to receive your item. Depending on your location, shipping times may vary. Now, what you actually just did is you quoted them a maximum of 19 business days to receive their item. And as you guys know, business days are only Monday through Friday. So that is almost 4 full weeks of Monday through Friday, which should give you plenty of time for the item to be delivered. And when people read that compared to something else, it's going to seem a lot more acceptable to them. And in general, in my experience, you will get more orders on your store. And there'll also be less people questioning you because they will read that on your store, they'll understand your model, and they'll be more willing to actually wait for the item. Now, a question I always get from people is, should I order a sample for every item that I sell on my store? And in most cases, the answer is no. You do not need to order a sample for every item, but you should order some. It would be good for you to see examples of your items, things that you're creating. It might also help with you to actually get excited about the things that you're creating. It might help you to be motivated to actually start selling some of that stuff once you get it in your hands. And in some cases, depending on the product you're selling, it will be good for you to see how it actually came out. So for example, let's say that you are selling something like this here. This is a custom shape pillow. I have a review on my channel about this product where basically the print-on-demand supplier will print this pillow for you in any shape that you want. So you can see here that this one is shaped like the POD Ninja's logo, right? If you're making something like this, it would probably be good for you to actually see how it comes out. Or let's say that you're doing something like this here. This is a pillow that has these sequins on it, and if you sort of rub your hand over it, the design behind it will appear. If you rub your hand over it this way, the design goes away. So something like this is, again, probably good for you to see. The same thing is true if you're selling something like this here, a print-on-demand metal sign. You're gonna wanna see how that comes out, right? You're gonna wanna make sure that your sign looks good when it's actually cut into metal, So depending on the product that you're selling, I would definitely order samples to make sure that your design is done correctly. For our next example, let's pretend for a moment that you are selling this bomber jacket here on your print-on-demand store. It is available in both men and women's. It's available inside of the Printify app, and if you want to check out my review of it, make sure to watch this video here on my channel. Let's say for a moment that you are selling that product on your store. Let's say that you come up with a really cool design that people like and you begin to make sales on it. What happens if after those items start to get delivered to your customers, people start complaining? They make comments to you via email saying that the design is crooked, or the design is blurry, or there's issues with the way that it was printed, and overall they're not happy with the quality. Let's say that they even send you a photo and you see that the design is not aligned correctly. Maybe there's issues with the sleeves and the way that the design is placed. Ultimately, you are going to be responsible for making that right for them. And I have seen people make some major mistakes when they create their print-on-demand designs. One thing to be aware of is, just for example, here inside of the Printify app, you are going to actually be able to download a template. If you click this Start Designing button right here, you will be able to make your design inside of the Printify template to be able to have everything printed correctly. You can see up at the top here, I can toggle between the different areas of the design to make sure that things are going to be printed correctly. Now, obviously, there could be certain situations where the print-on-demand supplier you are using makes a mistake when printing it, or there is some sort of a quality defect, or otherwise the item is damaged. But certainly, in certain cases too, you could be the one that made the error when you were making the design. And like I said, I have had times where even myself have made errors with my design, and then products are getting delivered to customers with issues. I've seen this happen with people that I've just interacted with in the print-on-demand world, and ultimately this can be something that is absolutely crushing, because here you are, you've got a design together, it's starting to sell, and then when people are receiving it, there are issues with it. So not only are you dealing with that, but you're gonna have to go back and try to figure out how to fix the design. So in general, what I would say to you is make sure that you are following your templates. Make sure that you're following the guidelines set forth to you by the print-on-demand supplier. That way, when you are creating a design, it is going to come out good. Now, for our next topic here, I want you to pretend that you just spent the last 3 weeks building out a print-on-demand store, and then you launch and you immediately start making sales. Awesome, right? It is definitely time to celebrate. But what happens if you receive an email, and inside of that email, it tells you that you are in violation of intellectual property that someone else actually owns, meaning you have violated trademark in some way, or the designs that you're selling are actually copywritten by someone else. Let's say that you were selling a print-on-demand canvas like this that says, "All of me loves all of you." And let's just say that the good people that work with John Legend decided to send you an email and tell you that your canvas is actually violating the copyright that he owns for the song "All of Me." Quick side note here, the difference between a trademark and a copyright is that a copyright is something that gives the owner the exclusive right to copy something that they create from a creative piece of work. This creative work may be literary, artistic, educational, or musical form. This is different from a trademark, which is you actually owning the rights to use a specific logo or slogan or something like that. In this case, your canvas here would be in violation of a copyright that John Legend owns because he wrote a song for this lyric. And ultimately, obviously, this can be something that completely derails your print-on-demand business. Now, me personally, I have never received a trademark notice. I also don't think I've actually violated any trademarks or copyrights, but I have certainly done things that are in somewhat of a gray area. This store here is one that I showed recently in a copyright and trademark themed videos that is doing a tremendous job at playing in what I call a gray area. They are creating products that are clearly geared towards Boston sports fans. They use colors from various sports teams and different things that would really make you think about the sports team, but ultimately they're not violating any trademarks or actually using team names or anything like that, and they are playing inside of a gray area. Ultimately, my point in bringing this up is just make sure that when you are creating designs that you are first and foremost not using any logos that would belong to a company, that you're not using any slogans that would belong to a company. You can even go on Google and you can find the US trademark database and you can actually search for different things to make sure that the quotes or the slogans that you're using are not actually registered trademarks from another business. And then also too, make sure in your designs that you're not using like any movie character names or the names of movies or even just quotes or different things from movies or songs or books or anything like that. You're going to want to make sure that anything you're using in your design is something that is relatively common, right? Things that are used maybe by lots of different people, things that really wouldn't be identifiable of a specific business, meaning the Nike slogan, "Just Do It," is obviously the Nike slogan. That is something that they have trademarked, and if you used it, you would be infringing on it. This way, as you begin to sell your print-on-demand products, you don't have to worry about receiving one of those emails because that would not be a good thing. So let me know down in the comments, have any of these things ever happened to you? My hope is that if they haven't happened to you, that me talking about them here in this video will help you to be better prepared if they do happen. And ultimately, if they did happen to you, I hope that everything worked out okay. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. That's what I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.